Okay, I'm joined by my good friend Chris Kailath of Uncensored Pinstripes Pod. Chris, how's it going?
What's up, Julian? Happy to be on. Let's go Yankees.
All right, Chris. So I'm going to start this off differently. How I start off most podcasts, actually. Obviously, it's a huge series between the Yankees and Dodgers. Maybe the biggest series of the year for the Yankees so far. Bigger than the Subway Series, one could argue. But give us your story of how you became a Yankees fan and like what your journey has been through as a Yankee fan, like how it's been.
Yeah, so I started becoming a fan around 99, 2000. Got placed and played in Little League Baseball. Yankees were dominant at the time. And Yankees had a bunch of high character guys, like guys easy to root for, like Derek Jeter, Andy Pettit, Mariano Rivera, Paul O'Neill, all those guys, and became an instant fan, all that, and how my journey. We've always been a great team, just haven't got a World Series since 2009. And obviously, since 2000, 2009, that's been kind of a struggle too, seeing the Red Sox get World Series, that more than us in this decade. Kind of been not good, but hopefully, this is the year we get the 28. Team looks great, and tomorrow will be a big test for us.
Yeah, I that's probably similar story that I have around 99 2000. I guess like when things started to make sense for me baseball wise, and when I kind of started watching a little bit. I'm like more towards like 2001, 2002. That's why you have a few years on me, so it makes sense. Our time ranges are like the same basically for our
Yeah.
ages. Um, so like, wasn't in your family too, or were they not as into baseball as you were?
No, they're not as into baseball as me. I mean, they know who's who, but all the household names, but not like me. No.
Oh, okay, I got you. That makes good sense. So like from that, like I know these last 2 years have not been what many people have wanted from them because like they tease you, they make you think they might have a shot, then they really don't. Like they go far, but they don't capitalize. It's not like when we were growing up when they were winning championships all the time. Now it's like they're just hoping to get in the playoffs and hope they get lucky, but that luck has not been going their way. So like how frustrating has that been?
Yeah, it's been pretty frustrating because, we're always the favorite, but some reason we just can't capitalize in the playoffs, and the Stars just can't hit when it comes to playoff time for a reason. I don't know why. We hit in regular season, but we're not in playoffs. I mean, like inexcusable and questionable too.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions about that. I definitely agree. And now that brings us back to what took place last year, obviously, and why this
Oh
series
man,
is.
why you gotta remind me of that?
Well, don't worry, I'm not going.
He was actually there, and Billy was watching that game too.
Yeah, well, I'm not going too deep down that. It's just a full circle moment that has to be addressed since now the Yankees are playing them since the first time that took place. So, what do you think has changed since then? Do you feel like the Yankees are better equipped to take on the Dodgers this season as opposed to last season? This is where things may be positive or maybe not. I don't know. You tell me how you feel.
Well, obviously, they got Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, two guys like got great gloves. Trent Grisham's taking a bigger step, taking a more everyday step in center field. Jason Dominguez is getting more playing time, and he's actually improved in left field tremendously. Most people have not said that. So they got in better fielding and more athletic too, and guys that could steal bases, like added Cody Bellinger, who could steal bases.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Bellinger's a very interesting layer to this because he obviously was an ex-Dodger. So
Yeah,
that's another layer to this rivalry now. That Bellinger is going to be very hungry to prove a point against his former team that he won the World Series with, albeit in the shortened season. And this was a team he won the MVP with in a regular season, not the shortened one. So he deserves all the credit in the world for that. So like there's a lot on Bellinger for sure. This is going to be a statement series for Bellinger because people are trying to say he's a better move than Juan Soto, and arguably, like so far, he has been. Is that going to fully last? No, but so far he's been better than Juan Soto, no question
absolutely.
about it. It's not going to fully hold up, most likely, but he's going to be somebody that I have my eyes on this series. That's a good way to open up the debate here about Cody Bellinger. Anthony hop in. Let me see if I can make this look better. There. Yeah, I guess. Nope. No, not that one. Yeah, we'll just do this, I guess. I've never used 3 people yet, so I'm experimenting on the fly.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Anthony? I know we've been talking about setting this up for a minute, so I appreciate you hopping in.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me chat some baseball.
All right, so we also have a big Knicks night tonight, so we're trying to get this done before Game 5, so that gives us like 45-ish minutes. So, and I asked Chris, and I know we spoke about this too, what led you to your Yankee fandom, and can you tell me how the journey's been as a fan?
Sure. So it all stemmed from my grandmother. She grew up in the Bronx during the 30s and 40s. So a lot of winning, obviously. I was born in 86, so I'm a 90s kid. So, I was 10 years old when Jeter first came up. Privileged to watch him and Mo's entire career. Got spoiled with the 90s dynasty. Been a little bit different for the last decade. I guess a little dose of reality. But it's been good, It's been I guess frustrating. They've obviously had, a bunch of winning clubs. Just haven't been able to get over that hump.
Yeah, and you have better memories than I would have, the dynasty years, because, I really only know one championship, and it's 09.
09, yeah.
2000, I have slight ones, but they're not, that strong. I just remember the game being on. My family was over. There were Met fans or Yankee fans, and I knew the Yankees won the World Series, but I couldn't grasp too much what was actually taking place.
It was rough. 2000. It was there was a bunch of kids that I grew up with that were Mets fans, and for us it was like lose-lose, right? We just came off back-to-back World Series titles, and it was always Mets fans just being jealous about that, and always running their mouths and coming up with stupid stuff. It was like you won, you expected to win. If you lost, it was like the end of the world. So
yeah, that's what I heard.
It was a fun season too. We had the Roger Clemens, Mike Piazza battle.
Yeah, the Mike Piazza. Yep. Yeah, David Justice the second half of that season.
He stepped up that second half of the season.
Yeah, and the Yankees were a wild card team that year, so they weren't even that
basically,
good.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, they lost a whole bunch of games, I think, in September.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, no way, they're gonna do it, right?" Yeah,
they lost 15 of the last 17 or something like that.
Talk about limping into the playoffs.
That was David Cohn's last year's Yankee too.
It was, yeah. He really wasn't a factor.
He wasn't that good.
He came in the bullpen a couple times in the World Series, I think, but yeah, he wasn't the main guy like he was the other years.
David, we love you, but that wasn't your year, I guess. They know more than I do.
Yeah, I think if you look at the numbers, if I remember correctly, he really, after that perfect game in 99, that second half of that year, he struggled, and then all of 2000, he just wasn't the same guy.
Well, Johan Santana was never the same after that no-hitter when he threw 150 pitches. He never recovered from that.
Fake no-hitter, but I guess it's technically.
Well, he basically ended his career for it, so that really sucks. And it probably ruined his Hall of Fame candidacy, but
he was on the fast track for sure.
He was right there. So we're not going to do too much Mets because we're going to focus on the Yankees more today. But do you guys have hope from what you saw from the Mets last weekend that the Yankees could carry that and also beat the Dodgers in the series? That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Absolutely. We took 2 out of 3 from the Mets and the Padres, 2 NL powerhouse teams. No reason why we can't compete with the Dodgers. And Dodgers pitching staff's been struggling. Our pitching staff's been great. So,
yeah, for sure. I think Friday night, is probably with Fried on the mound. That's the most important game. Got to win the Fried games. Is Rodon pitching Sunday?
No, unfortunately, we're going to get to that. We'll talk about that, but he's not.
All right, so I know Warren's been pitching well, but still, I never know what to expect from him. So hopefully he keeps it up. I know the Dodgers aren't really throwing anybody great until Sunday night, but
yeah, that's the play.
So that first game, I think, is important.
Okay, so tomorrow it's going to be Fried versus Gonsolin, which is definitely advantage Yankees. You would think, at least from that standpoint. Then Saturday, it's Warren versus Lance and Knack, which could be a toss-up, but I'm not Mac does not impress me. So like I could give a slight lean towards the Yankees there based on how Will Warren's pitched lately. Sunday's definitely Dodgers, the Yamamoto and Yarbo, no question. Even as good as Yarbo's been, Yamamoto's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So I would have liked this. This is where we'll get to Rodon. I thought the Yankees should have made Rodon pitch on a normal rest and not waited for Yarbo. Like I'm not sure why I decided to use Yarbo instead of Rodon there.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
Just Boone getting cute, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe he's trying to throw them off with Yarbo, like junk balling them a little bit. Maybe he thinks like maybe he's trying to like change them, get them off their game.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Because they're both lefties, so I can't say it's a left on left thing because Rodon's also a lefty too, and he's been pitching so well. Like they should have just kept it rolling, probably normal rest, but maybe
he wants like 6 innings. Like that's like normal for him.
Well, Carlos threw 7. He threw 7 the other night with 10 Ks and scoreless. He's been fantastic. Do you guys think that's been the biggest difference for the Yankees this year, Carlos Rodon?
It's definitely one of them. I think the defense is definitely bigger defense. Got better defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was obviously such a struggle last year. I mean, obviously no bigger stage in the World Series and what happened there. But the defense, Rodon, I mean, what's your guys' take on Rodon? I mean, I remember last year he had that nice stretch where it looked like he was finally putting together, and then he kind of reverted back to his old ways.
He won 16 games, so it was still a solid season. But obviously, this year he's living up to the contract. You can't deny that
for sure. Hopefully, maybe it's the beard. I don't know.
That's what my friends are saying. Okay, here's my take. He was a complete abomination. Obviously, he was injured. He was awful. Whenever he was out there, you have to flush that year. A complete waste. Last year, he was like above average without a lead, in my opinion. It was like above average. It was like okay. Like was he fully worth the money last year? Probably not. But at least he was like showing up on occasions. In the playoffs, he was pretty good until he wasn't. Like his one start against the Guardians was really good. The Royals, he showed like he was going to be good, and he got himself too hyped. He was not so great against the Dodgers, and it's actually really interesting because if the Yankees had not committed all those errors and all the stuff that took place, he would have had another huge chance in Game 6 to see like what. Then we would have saw like what he was really made of, but we didn't get to. That's why I'm always going to be wondering what would have happened if he got to pitch that day. Like, obviously, it would have been Yamamoto versus him. Yankees would have been huge underdogs, even though they had 1-2 straight. On the road going against a better pitcher. I would have liked to see what Rodon would have done that day.
Absolutely.
Because his postseason was very uneven.
Yeah, for sure. Even in that first start against the Royals, right? I mean, the first couple innings, he was like lights out and then just fell apart. But I mean, what's your guys' take on that World Series? I remember saying to my brother that if they won Game 4, if they had held on to Game 5, all that pressure going on the Dodgers having to fly back across the country, I honestly think they would have taken it 7.
I think so too.
When Judge hit that home run in the first inning, I said, "Oh, this is he woke up. We got Cole dominating.
We had the Jazz back-to-back home run too."
Well, my thing was like the hardest game to win was going to be Game 6, just like the situation in the Knicks. For sure. It's going to be the same parallel if the Knicks can somehow do what the Yankees couldn't win that Game 5. Hopefully, we'll find out soon. But for the Yankees and Rodon, like I think he's fully showing what he's worth this year. Is this going to be who he's going to go forward the whole year? Like he's obviously not going to be this good the whole year because he's been one of the best pitchers in the league. But if he can stabilize this, he gives us a high 2 ERAs, like. He'll strike out close to 200 batters. Then you're talking about what he's been. Then that's what he was supposed to do. He's really holding up the rotation too. He's stepping up in the absence of Garrett Cole, which has been huge, and he's stabilizing the pitching behind Max Fried. So he's been everything you could have asked for and more this year. We'll see how he maintains it, but everything I'm seeing, he's looking like that White Sox and that Giants Rodon mix that we were waiting for.
He has good chemistry with Austin Wells. I think, like you saw in Somerset.
Yes, I did. I did see that.
So I think that's what goes hand in hand too.
I agree with you 100%. Wells needs to stay with Rodon. I love Will Warren with JC Esquera too. Will Warren and JC are cooking a little bit.
JC and Clark Schmidt too.
JC's been good with everyone, honestly. Like they've both been good, but Yeah, for the World Series last year, I feel like Yankees would have lost that 6 because like I felt like Yamamoto and it was still a big matchup advantage over what Rodon was last year because the Yankees can't touch Yamamoto. Like he's been serving them. So let's see if they can figure him out this year because he looks better than ever this year too.
Yeah, his ERA is below 2, I think, right?
Yeah, he had like one bad start against the Diamondbacks. Everything else has basically been lights out all year. Him and Max Fried has been one of the best pitchers in the league, though. So we'll see. And Fried's gonna have a lot of motivation going back to Cali. So I'm expecting another big outing from Max Fried. He'll probably have a lot of friends and family there too.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
And to me, Gonsolin's always been hit or miss. Like you see it in flashes with him. He's been the guy that hasn't been able to stay fully healthy. He's very beatable to me. But I think the Mets did a decent job against him too. But like, I think like for the key tomorrow, besides Fried, is just like who's going to step up behind Aaron Judge. How are the Dodgers going to pitch Judge? Do you think they're going to take out some plays from Washington? How we walked him twice in the first 2 innings?
Yeah, I'm laughing about it in the dugout. That was yeah, I mean, he's going to see more of that, right? I mean, the guy's hitting, what is he at, 395 now? I think he dropped below 400 the last couple of days.
Crazy.
I mean, I think they showed his. I saw a stat yesterday. His average was higher than Juan Soto's slugging, which is kind of remarkable. But yeah, I mean, listen, he's going to get walked more. It's going to be up to the guys like Belly and Goldschmidt to continue to pick up the slack. Goldschmidt's been unbelievable. I mean, I was hoping he was going to have a bounce back year, but never expected this. So that's a huge plus, especially when you compare it to what the Yankees got at first base last year, which was basically nothing. Ben Rice has been a big surprise. Grisham's kind of cooled off. I'd like to see Boone drop him in the lineup. I know he had a couple hits the other night, but he's been a little inconsistent. Don't love him in the 2-hole there.
Yeah, but I could probably do without that too, for being honest.
I mean, at what point? I don't want to rush it because I feel like they rushed it last year with Volpe, and I was one of the people yelling, "Put him in the leadoff spot, put him in the leadoff spot," especially after the hot start. But at what point do you see Dominguez get a shot moving up?
He's been hitting the ball pretty well, so I mean,
yeah, you guys know I stay in the Martian. I watched him at every level of the minor league, so I'm happy to see everything materializing for him.
He's been hitting lefty real well, just right side. Gotta get together. But I think he might will. He definitely will, though.
The spring training stuff was aggravates me, but the defense, so everyone's complaining about spring training errors. I'm like, that's what spring training's for. Like, who gives a shit? If he's making an error in spring training, I could care less. Let him get it out of his system now. He's a great hitter, obviously. Yeah, he needs to work on the right side. He's acknowledged that too. Like he's trying there. We've seen some few good moments. Was that bases clearing double? There's been like a few homers. I think like 1 or 2 maybe. I know he had that 3-homer game. One was from the right. And wherever the A's play now. But I think
I've been impressed with his ball. His on base, getting on base.
He's really good at that.
Really selective at the plate. Which is good to see. I don't know exactly what his on-base percentage is right now. I think it's around probably 320.
I can find it
somewhere in that range. I think he's hitting 230. So.
And Volpe's had a good last 2 good series too. He's good against the Angels.
Yes, he has been, and both of those kids are so important to us.
Yeah.
So with
Wells, Rice. I mean.
The question is now with Mookie Betts struggling, do the Yankees have an advantage at shortstop?
No, it's still Mookie Betts. Let's not get crazy now. let's pump it up to pump the brakes. Defensively, we'll take Volpe, but let's slow it down a little bit.
Yeah,
that's like the people saying that Volpe's better than Soto. Like I can't be seeing that right now. Like everyone has to chill a little bit. But no, like And his on base is 340, by the way, so pretty solid.
Okay, so
it's 100 points. Yeah. It's 100 points higher than his average,
sure.
which is always a good barometer of like a guy that gets on. Dominguez is always selective out there too. He always takes his walks. That's why I don't mind him hitting in that higher slot that we're talking about. I think eventually he will get into that category. Maybe you're right. Maybe they should learn from the Volpe mistakes and not rush it and just let it ease its way in. So I need to see Trent Grisham at the top, not necessarily, but like. His batted ball data is still okay, but this is not who Trent Grisham is. He was always going to regress at some point, and we're starting to see that a little bit. Like he was playing so much over his head, it was never going to last.
You think we'll see more of the more Goldschmidt leading off when Stanton gets back?
Yeah, I do actually.
Goldschmidt at the cleanup spot.
I do because Goldie's been fantastic. How can you not like him leading off right now?
340, whatever he's at.
He's been
more of a contact hitter too, not the home run hitter that he's always been.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm surprised about. I was definitely expect some more bombs. Maybe they'll come in the second half of the year still. It might still be in there, but he's just getting on, hitting doubles.
Just keep that average up.
He's almost had like a two-strike approach, like even from the beginning of each at bat, which I like. I mean, like I said, I'm old school. I still look at average and average on base percentage and OPS. So like
I normally don't look at average, but with Goldschmidt, I have to look at it because it's really impressive to me.
I just grew up with it. When it was average was like always a big thing. Yeah.
No, I used to really look. I used to look at it too, but like now I've gotten myself into the OPS and on base percentage areas. I don't look at slug that much, to be honest with you guys.
No, I never really.
Slug's not that important to me, to be honest. Like if the OPS and the on base is good, like that works for me, honestly. But dude, Goldschmidt becoming Luis Ariz was definitely not on my bingo card though.
no, that's a good. Yeah, and I wanted Louis. I was yelling for Cashman to bring him on. I thought he, obviously he struggles in the field.
That was the only issue I had with it potentially.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's almost I guess you're replacing. He's almost like a Torres in the field, but just less power.
Yeah, that's where I was like kind of hesitant about it. But we got a rising Goldie. Who knew? Honestly, and he plays good. And he plays better defense.
And he plays,
No, Goldie's been a revelation. All right, I guess we should get to the other acquisition. It's been a little bit rough. I've had more patience with him than most people. I know you guys know where I'm going here. Devin Williams' thoughts after what took place again in Anaheim. He was so good in the 8th inning. He goes back to closing, and he can't do it. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. I thought he was fixed, honestly, until Anaheim. Like, it looked like everything was back to normal. And now, I don't know again.
Yeah, I mean, Nice. You want to go? You go first.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great question. He was obviously, the best, if not, top 3 closer in baseball for last year and a couple years before that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Holmes, right? I feel like when they moved him out of that 9th inning into the 8th, he was just like real. If I remember correctly, he was an 8th inning guy with Pittsburgh before he came over here to the Yankees.
Yeah, I think that sounds
like a 7th, 8th inning guy. So it is. I don't know. Is it the bright lights in New York? Obviously, he's pitching well in the 8th, so I guess it's not that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just got to be a head thing. I mean, listen, I think we're just fortunate that we have Weber to be able to fill that slot because he's been unbelievable. I mean, what he did in the playoffs last year and what he's still doing this year, I don't need to see Williams in the 9th anymore.
Williams too. He's a two-pitch pitcher. Like you have to change up, and
that might be the real issue there. Did they figure? Is the book Allen Devin Williams have to repeat Alonso homer? Is that what happened? Like I'm not going to say it broken.
He got the better of Pete that in the Mets series, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying that broken, but like ever since then, he has not been too good.
Not at all.
I don't know. I mean, most of the dominant relief pitchers in the game are really 2-pitch guys, right? Fastball, slider, fastball, changeup, that kind of combination.
Fastball, changeup,
yeah, it should be. I mean, I don't know. He's been doing it for a while. He's just got to be more consistent with his fastball placement.
I don't know. It's too late for him to learn how to throw a cutter.
I thought he had a couple. He doesn't really use it that much. Like they were saying, he kind of uses it, but not really. Like I don't know. I thought they should teach him the couple. Like it's not a thing.
I mean, the Yankees had a past pitcher that threw a pretty good one, so maybe he can help out.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like they should try to refine his cutter and make it an actual pitch that's useful. That might be a good way to go. Because here's the thing: like you made some good points about 2-pitch pitchers. Like Clase is, but his cutter's 100 miles an hour, so he doesn't need anything else. Like it's not. It's even faster than the Mo cutter. Like, what are you going to do with that? Even if you know it's coming, you're not touching that most times.
I mean, even look at like Garrett Cole. I know he's a starter, but like I think he threw a lot more cutters last year.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
Clark,
I know he's
Clark
been with the team the whole year. So I mean, maybe somebody like him can help him.
Yeah, someone's got to get in the lab with Devin. But like, it's so weird because like he had 11 to 12 scoreless appearances pitching out of the 8th, and as soon as he goes back to the 9th, it's like he forgets how to pitch.
It's got to be his head. It's just got to be in his head.
And it's like the Angels too. It's not even like a team that's like a dominant team. That's the other issue. I mean, the Angels have some good hitters. Don't get me wrong. Their offense actually isn't as bad as some people might think. But like some of the guys who's giving the hits off like aren't really that good. I was like, I mean, he got out of it. Thankfully, Logan O'Happen bailed him out. I don't know what he was doing swinging at that, but they'll take it. What I said was that the Yankees had to win 5 out of 6 between Angels and Rockies because I knew there was going to be one fuck up somewhere. For lack of a better term, I'm like, they're going to fuck up one of the games. And then they fucked up one. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, definitely, especially going into the Dodgers series. Yeah, that was important. 5 out of 6 for sure.
Yeah, so I've been, like you brought up before, Anthony, I've been really happy with Will Warren. I'm a guy who I watched pitch in the minors a lot. I thought people were being way too harsh to judge him. Like, oh, we can't pitch in the majors. Oh, he's a bullpen arm. They're like, oh, he stinks. I'm like, he hasn't even made 10 starts. He didn't have 50 innings. Like, what are we doing here? Sorry he was frustrated. Like, we needed to, like, see what he has. Like, you got to just weigh the process there. There's so many similarities between Clark Schmidt and Mike King, too. Like, you have to work with a guy like that. And they're starting to get rewarded for it lately.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Clark,
his strikeout numbers have been insane lately.
Oh, unbelievable. It's, I think a lot of it had to do with, he was struggling early in the year, and so was pretty much everybody else except for Fried in the starting rotation. So it was
Rodon has some
hard to hide
early.
It, Yeah, it's not like everybody else was dominating and they were just struggling once through the rotation. But
not just like Clark with his innings too. Like I don't think he made it past like the 5th inning. Now he's like pitched like I saw like 6 or 7 yesterday.
Yeah,
Clark's building. Like I'm happy with what I've seen from him too. Warren could learn from Clark too, and I'm sure they work together a lot. Very similar guys there because like when Clark first came up, people were wondering, was he a starter? Was he a reliever? Could he be a good starting pitcher? Mike King, obviously the Yankees made a huge mistake in wasting him in the bullpen all that time, but I mean, he was good for them in the bullpen, but seeing what he's doing as a starting pitcher, that obviously could have been better. And he did help them get Soto, but I mean, I'm
he
happy.
Might be back next season.
Possible.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if the Yankees are willing to do that, we'll see. It's hard to believe there was a world where Cookie Carrasco was the 5th starter for the season based on what we're seeing.
All about him, to be honest.
That was like a godsend switch from Yarbo to Carrasco. Like that saved a couple of wins right there.
Yeah, and even Yarbo struggled the first couple starts out. I mean, after 2 or 3 starts, I was like, I don't even see this guy.
Yeah, no, I had low expectations just because
definitely happened to say I was wrong.
He's a better starter. He was a bullpen. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like him in the bullpen, but the starter, oh my god.
Yeah.
180.
The issue is, does he get exposed against the Dodgers? That wouldn't shock me. I could see the Dodgers teeing off on him, unfortunately, because he's due to have like a bad outing.
Sure,
it's like Dodgers, like Teoscar Hernandez eats lefties for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So does Auntie Poggett. So I have to say, with those two, step in, pay attention to what's going on.
And the Dodgers are going to get up for this series. I mean, not that they don't for most, but
because they haven't been playing their best ball either. So like they're looking to get themselves going.
They're going to be due.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, they're still 34-22. Like we're similar to them. They did beat the Guardians 2 out of 3, but they did lose to the Mets 2 out of 3. So they're not humming at all cylinders. Like Chris mentioned before, Glass now, Snell, Sasaki, like a lot of injuries already in the rotation again. All right. Let's talk about this. How about the Alexis Diaz trade? Did you see that, Ant?
The which trade?
The Dodgers traded for Diaz's brother, Alexis Diaz.
I saw it. I don't know much about him. I did see it came across earlier. So, I don't know much about the guy. So maybe you could fill me in a little bit.
Yeah, it's like he's been good. He's not quite like Edwin, obviously, but he had a few solid years. I think he made an All-Star too.
2023.
Yeah, there we go,
Okay.
Chris. Good stuff there. Last year he kind of struggled, and this year he's been hurt and ineffective. So like the Reds kind of
ERA is like
options
10,
him.
I think. Like
But
it's up there.
They only pitched like 6 innings though. Like they pulled the plug too quick in my opinion. So they get like a no-name minor leaguer for him basically, and he still has 2.5 years left to control.
So where's the plan? The Dodgers bullpen's been solid too with Kirby Yates. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, Tanner Scott, like we talked before, he's blown his games, but he's still ERA is somewhat solid.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna activate him this week or like how quick they're gonna move him. But it's Mike Villani is the guy that got traded, so no disrespect, but like not a big name prospect there. I thought it was a bad trade for the Reds. I don't really understand the point of it, but we'll see. I feel like the Dodgers will fix him rather quickly, honestly. Like the potential to be good is still there. Yeah. So I mean, so Saturday, Sunday. So what are your predictions of what takes place this series? And who are some X factors on offense in the bullpen? Give me one on both, and I'll go.
So X factor in the bullpen, you said, or X factor in general?
X in bullpen, X hitter.
Well, I think Luke Weaver's been my guy. Luke Weaver, he's been rested, so I think I'm expecting big. I think he's going to have a big series. He pitched really well against them, so that's one right there. X factor, I'm gonna go Anthony Volpe. I mean, he did a good Rocky series, good Angel series. He had that grand slam in Game 4. Let's see if he continue the hot bat.
I like those two. Those both make a lot of sense to me. Anthony, you're up, brother.
I'm gonna go with my boy Dominguez.
Okay, I like that
the
one.
X factor. I think he's gonna cause some havoc on the base path. Out of the bullpen, I'm gonna go Tim Hill. I know he hasn't been as effective this year, but with Ohtani and Freeman, I think he's gonna end up pitching in some big situations. So.
Okay, you gave me PTSD from Game 1, unfortunately. Oh man, oh god. But it's a good choice though. Like I gotta say, that's a good choice. All right, so mine is Devin Williams. What are we going to get from Devin? He's going to pitch at some point. Is he going to be able to set it up effectively? Because we know he's not closing against the Dodgers. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So
hopefully not.
No, I don't think so. Because even if Weaver goes 2 in a row, why would they put Devin in the 9th again after what took place against the Angels?
I mean, Mark Leiter did it last night, so.
Yeah, last night, full discretion, I fell asleep halfway through the game because I'm not dealing with so great. Thank God I missed it because I literally missed nothing. I was like, okay, good. I woke up, I'm like, wait, it was still 1-0. I'm like, this is a joke. Nothing else happens. I'm like, okay, I missed absolutely nothing. So I'm going with Devin because of the volatility. Like, if he's really good, it's going to help him a lot. If there's a big blow-up spot, it could cost him the game. So it's very boom or bust. We're going to hope for the best there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's go, Devin. So, hitting, I think you guys will like this one. How about Austin Wells? He's been kind of quiet lately. A lot of people are going with going with the 3, the big Somerset 3 trio, the 3 kids. Got to rock the Somerset trio there. And then I'll also back that up with JC Escarra. If he gets in, he's been playing pretty well, and maybe he'll get to catch Will again or something. I think they might all be night games, so maybe we don't see JC, but I hope he gets an appearance at least. That'd be cool. So I'll give Wells and then JC in the background in case he plays too.
I like it.
Solid.
Wells needs a good series.
Yes, he does, and I think like people are being a little harsh on him because he still is doing a lot of things well. Are the traditional stats great besides the RBI? No, not really. But his OPS and on base are still like okay, considering his average is kind of low. And
he's not bad for if you keep him in that bottom third of the lineup though. He's solid down there. Listen, if he's hitting cleanup, I have an issue with that, but.
Yeah,
where he's hitting, he's fine. He plays a good defense. He's got a decent arm. He's well liked on the team, from what I can see.
Yeah, definitely. He's a good guy. He's a good dude.
100%,
he's got, and some of the expected numbers look better. Like he's a guy that hits a lot of hard hit outs. It's home result for him. Like I feel like he rolls the ball in the outfield a lot. Like definitely the baseball Savate probably looks good for him, I would think. His on base is 271 compared to a 206 average. Like, I'd like to see better on base and average, obviously.
Yeah.
OPS 703. Yeah, we probably want to start going up before we drop below the 700s, because then things go.
Sure.
Once you drop below the 700s, things get a little bit hairy for me.
Yeah.
So hopefully he starts to go the arrow up. But I still believe in him. I think he'll be fine, and maybe this is the series that he breaks out, because like that big breakout series is coming. He really hasn't gotten on that hot stretch yet.
No, I mean, he carried us for a few weeks last year.
Probably a month, 2 months maybe.
When Stan was down, he was holding up.
Cleanup hitter,
Yeah, he's capable.
It's definitely still in there. I couldn't agree more.
And what a series for him to come out going against one of the best catchers now, Will Smith. So that'd be something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. and they got Dalton rushing too. Like, the Dodgers are loaded with catching.
Yeah.
And then another guy, what do you think about Bellinger? We talked about him before, Anthony, him coming back to play the Dodgers. He's been pretty solid this year. Do you think this is a big series for him? You think he puts one in the seeds at least? Like,
I definitely think he hits a home run. I love Bellinger. I wanted Cashman to bring him on the year before as well. I love the lefty bat. I love that he could play all three outfield spots, first base. He could run. I hope this isn't a 1 year and done with him. I hope their plan is. I know he's got the mutual option, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's his decision if he wants.
It's his decision. Okay, so I hope they keep him around for years to come. I think he genuinely likes being a Yankee. I remember hearing probably on the Fan or something that Scott Boras was bugging Cashman that Bellinger kept. Trade for me, get me on this team.
I think I heard some stuff like that too.
Yeah, I love that he wants to be here. I love guys that grew up Yankee fans. Obviously, his dad being on the team in the late '90s, and grew up in the clubhouse and stuff. So, I definitely think he's hitting home run this week in the series.
Yeah, I feel like it would be justice if he did. I would love to see that happen. And I would say this too, like, Bellinger definitely seems to get a guy that was born to be in the Bronx, which is pretty exciting because a lot of the guys will from it, but he wanted the expectations. I definitely heard similar things like you were saying. He definitely wants to be a Yankee once the Yankees came up in the trade talks. When I went down to Dallas, like, everyone told me, Yankees are in it. They're in it. They're like, I can see it happening. No one was like, no, like, probably. I'm like, okay, like, it's gonna happen. Just give us some time. Like, we'll get this done. Once Soto fell through, I was like, our Yankees are.
It just made too much sense.
If it's a one-off or not, I guess we'll see. He's like borderline playing good enough to maybe consider the opt-out. It's close. Is he fully worth that 25? I don't know, but like, is he 15 to 20 at least? Probably, I would say. Does he want to stay for one more? I would assume so. I'm going to ask you two interesting questions that go off that. So, looking forward for Bellinger, if he stays around, and then you get Kyle Tucker, would you guys be willing to move on from Spencer Jones potentially? Because, like, he might be the big chip you need at the deadline to make a move. Because, like, the Yankees farm's not in a good spot right now with that. I mean, George Lombard's definitely not getting traded, so I would not even worry about that. Spencer Jones, to me, is kind of in flux. I mean, he's returning to AA now. He's going to have to get to AAA this year at least to see how close he can get. I don't see him making the team this year because the Yankees outfield's so full, and Stan still hasn't even played a game yet. And now it's going to take away all the DH at bats. So, like, how do you feel about Jones's future? And, like, also, you'd obviously be okay with letting Bellinger go if, like, that man Tucker was coming.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, so here's how I look at it. Aaron Judge's in his prime career. We need to do what we can to get this man a World Series. Kyle Tucker is one of the best in the game, so give me Kyle Tucker if it means getting Spencer Jones.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
No brainer. No, I'm driving him to the airport. Listen, I'd love to. I hope it's Bellinger and Tucker. Maybe Bellinger moves to
first base.
I mean, with the way
Goldie.
Gold. Yeah, I mean, I don't see them bringing Goldie back.
No.
Just because of his age.
Yeah, but what if he's just so good that you can't not bring him back?
Yeah, it's a possibility. Like, you give him another year and see what happens.
I never would have thought that was possible. To me, he was 100% a stopgap. But like, based on how he's playing this year, like, I don't know, like, And the age is tough still, but he's a professional hitter. He's a future Hall of Famer, probably. Like, maybe he could still do it. I don't know.
And let's get back to Kyle Tucker too. Like, if you get him, that's our leadoff hitter right there. You know, more like platooning leadoff hitters. That's our set leadoff guy. Don't switch that around.
Yeah, you two, Tucker 1, Judge 2, and you roll it. Yeah.
I mean, I think Ben Rice is the bigger question mark at first base. I mean, if he continues to play well this year, I mean, what do you do with him next year? If you bring Tucker on, even if you got rid of, I mean, if you kept Bellinger to play first base, I mean, you'd almost have to, right? Because you got Judge and Dominguez in the outfield. I guess you shift Dominguez to back to center field at that point. And I mean, I guess Ben Rice could. I guess you can't rely on Stanton being healthy.
That's true. Ben Rice could be the DH in the future, maybe, because but you want to have the DH open too. Could Rice be a trade chip potentially? Sure. Rice could be a trade chip possibly. I don't think the Yankees would do it, but I wouldn't completely take it off the table.
I would feel more comfortable with it in the offseason if they signed Tucker.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Like if you knew Kyle Tucker was coming, then you could trade Rice easier. Yeah.
Then I feel better about that.
But if you could get yourselves a third baseman, I would definitely consider it because that's been such a gaping hole. But I think Lombard will play third next year, but I don't know how we're going to fix that this year. I think we'll close with that. Let's close with our third base and second base issue, and then what do you guys expect from Stanton when he returns? Like, do you trust him to actually stay healthy? Like, do you think his future is getting lower here? Like, let's start with G first.
I mean, coming off tennis lost a severe injury and a whole bunch of other stuff, and he's no spring chicken. He's close to 35, and
he has 2 years left on the deal after this year. Keep that in mind for a lower salary.
Yeah, he's also approaching 40, and I don't know how I could keep it up. And pay me to see because I really like the guy, but I don't know. I don't see it happening.
Do you think he gets CFA'd at the end of the year finally?
No,
hard to tell because it depends what he does if he comes back.
You say no, you're leaning more towards yes, I think. If you don't want to say yes, but I'm like in the middle. I could go either way on it.
Yeah, I'm in the middle because we need to see what he does when he comes back. I mean, if he's playoff junk roll stand, then you have to keep him.
That's true, I guess. But are we going to get that? I have no idea, to be honest with either of you.
I think you will. I think when he gets back, listen, I don't know how he's going to react to these double tennis elbow. Never heard of this before.
Yeah, me either.
I think obviously I think when he gets back, he's going to come off to a slow start.
Yep,
I do expect him to struggle. I think that's his MO.
That's
coming off injuries. But I think playoff time, I think he's going to be playoff Stan. I think he's our modern day Jim Lawrence, right? Let him go sit somewhere on a beach for all season and just bring him back for October. I mean, listen, the Yankees said I think the Marlins kick in $10 million a year the last 2 years of the contract, so they're really paying him around 20 somewhere.
Yeah, that's easier to manage. Yeah,
it's easier to manage and. If you're going to pay the guy, no matter, even if you have to DFA him, you're going to pay him. So if you're going to pay him, even if he's like a platoon guy for his last 2 years, who cares? I mean, I'll take him as a platoon. Him and Ben Rice, right? Maybe they could platoon at that DH spot and play whoever's hot. Stanton's going to get hurt, so he's not going to be there the whole season.
That's correct. That's 100%.
Yeah, I just don't think it makes sense to DFA him. Maybe with 1 year left on his deal, if he really just breaks down and is a shell of himself, but. Until I see him not perform in the playoffs, I think he needs to stay on this team.
That's fair.
DFA and go to a rival team. Imagine him going to the Dodgers and they just
because he probably would go to the Dodgers. He's from LA and
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, so I guess in that sense, don't DFA him.
Well, to me, it's like this. Like in the regular season, he's basically useless now. We have to understand that. How can we always count him to be good in the playoffs? I guess this year will be the test. If he can still have a good postseason again this year after barely being around at all, I might just be like, okay, just keep him in the chamber to use it for October, like you said, honestly. But here's the thing. It's Michael K brought this up, so I'm gonna steal this, and I've said this before too. He hasn't even had his leg injury yet. So when he returns, he's definitely going to pull something in his leg, too. So he's not even going to fully play. When he returns, he's not even going to fully play. Let's get that out of the way now. That's happening, unfortunately. So hopefully he only misses 15 days to a month whenever that takes place. And it's early enough that it doesn't impact his availability in October.
Just come back early mid-September, get a couple at bats before the playoffs, and let's see what happens.
I'm assuming now we'll actually see him next month because they said he's 2 weeks away from a possible rehab assignment that was last weekend. So if he is 2 weeks away,
maybe second half of the season, they just hold him off until
it could be that too. But the issue
break.
is he doesn't like to do the long rehabs. That's the problem. He should do them, but he doesn't like to do the long rehabs. That's why I think we might see him in June. I mean, maybe if he gets hurt again, hopefully it's like July or August, and then he'll be back for September, like you said. It's just a crazy situation. Like, it really is wild. So we'll close down the infield hole. How frustrated are you guys with the bad production at third base over the last 2 years, besides when Chisholm was there for half the season?
Oswaldo held it well for a good part. The injury freaking sucks because obviously, Julian, he's such a lovable guy, and being him in person.
That was not a shot at him, by the way. That was a shot at the other misfits that were taking the position.
Absolutely, I get it. But yeah, probably ever since Cerreta left, it's been a revolving door at third base, and we haven't got that production. And obviously, we had Oswaldo doing pretty well, and to now have like Pablo Reyes and Peraza, it's kind of underwhelming, really. At best.
Like, I need to see. Like, to me, like, I've seen enough of Dijon Mayhew already. My patience is nowhere with him. He's starting to revert back to his horrible stats again. Like, OPS is under 600 again. Like, I know the sample size is small, but, like, his sample's been so bad. Like, I'm not giving much benefit of the doubt here. He just hasn't been good for a while, so I think it's who he is, personally.
No, he needs to be DFA'd. It's just...
Yes, him before Stan, 100%. Yeah. Like, if I had to choose between the two, it's not even a competition. His contract's more manageable to do that with too, because it's only 2 for 30 left right now. So if he makes the team next year, I'd be shocked. I feel like this is his last year, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think they're bringing him back next year.
No, they can't.
I'd be shocked, especially if they especially if Peraza. And Peraza's going to do it for even cheaper.
Peraza, he's on the fritz too. I don't know if he's going to make it.
He
to
doesn't have any options
year.
left, right?
I don't know if he's going to make it to this year. If he's gotten lucky with the injuries, he would not have even made it this far. I would like to see.
B-Balls has been somewhat good, but I mean, I don't expect him to be back. I don't know if I expect him to be on the team next season.
Vivas probably not. I don't think so. I want to give him a chance, but like the bat's just not there yet. No. Like he needs a lot of work still. His plate discipline's good.
There's nobody out there, right? I mean, there's the
this is the conversation we're gonna have. Yeah, that's the issue. They pigeonholed themselves. Like they didn't handle in the off season, and once we didn't handle in the off season, I was like, this isn't gonna get that much better because like the options are not gonna get that much better when we revisit this in a few months, and here we are. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. But to me, I don't know if you two agree, this team's not winning a World Series unless they address that position. Like, they can't win a World Series with that.
Yeah, they got to get more. Absolutely. If Cabrera was there, I would have been confident.
That would have been just good enough, possibly.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
bottom of the order, good defense.
He's enough.
Always good for those timely hits once in a while.
But without him, it's a cesspool.
Yeah, I guess if there's a better option to put second, at least you can move Jazz over to third.
That's what they're trying to do, which I find curious. I'm surprised that Mayhew's played second instead of third.
I would rather Jazz stay at second, but if there's somebody out there, again, I don't know who that person is. I think there are a ton of options out there.
Yeah. I think they're foreshadowing that they're looking for a second baseman instead of a third baseman. I think that's why they're doing that.
Listen, I mean, Cashman is frustrated as he's been over the last 10 years. Nobody's better at finding diamonds in the rough. So
he's got to get someone.
Put my confidence, especially when pitchers he's struggled with, but when it comes to offensive guys, look at Didi Gregorius, Boy, right, guys like that. I mean, so maybe he hits on somebody. You just got to cross your fingers, I guess.
I'll give you guys my target for second base. I think you'll both like it, but the question is, does the other team want to play ball with this? It's Brandon Lau from Tampa Bay. That's my guy to get a second base. That would fix the infield issues a lot. And then
they probably want a lot for him too.
I'm willing to pay.
Second place now, so who knows? They're gonna try and make a run.
But last
For a
year they
wild
did
card spot.
sell. They sold a lot when they weren't that far out of it last year. It's possible. You would definitely have to overpay for him, but it could be worth the price of admission because they need to fix that infield. I would also like Eugenio Suarez if the Diamondbacks willing to move him on a contract year. That would be a nice fill for third base.
Let's just hope they fall out of it in the next month.
Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky. The Diamondbacks will start falling off because their division's tough. So if they have a bad stretch, we can take them out really quick because they have
the whole National League is tough. So
yeah. So speaking of NL, what are your thoughts on the Mets? Like, what do you think about the Mets so far?
It's funny because I think everybody expected their offense to carry the team, and obviously it's been the opposite. It's been the pitching.
Yeah.
But it was like that last year, so I guess I'm not too surprised. Listen, they're a playoff team. If they miss the playoffs, I'd be shocked.
Me too.
I think they have a chance to make a deep run, especially if they're healthy. Soto's going to wake up eventually. He's too talented not to, especially when it comes postseason time. Lindor is a monster. He's clutch. Alonso proved it last year. Nimmo, he's been struggling, but I expect them to. I think the Phillies win the division.
I thought that too coming into the year.
I think the Braves are going to be right there too. I do not count out the Braves. I could even see them finishing second. They're going to make a run, especially with the Cunha back now.
Yeah, I like Phillies 1, Mets 2, Braves 3. That's how I said it going into the year, so I'll stick with it right now because that's looking halfway decent. I do see Mets as a playoff team for sure, a high-end playoff team at that probably, because their pitching is only going to get better too because they're doing it with a lot of guys, and it's been surprising.
It's true. A lot of guys are going to come back.
Yeah, Soto's definitely disappointing. I asked Chris this before. I'm curious your take. Do you think Soto would have better numbers right now if he re-signed with the Yankees? Do you think he would have been close to what he was doing last year?
Yes, I do. I think the biggest. It's definitely not playing in New York. He proved that he did it at the highest level.
I agree with you.
On a much bigger stage. Let's face it. And the Mets fans can chat all they want. The Yankees are just a different level.
They're the second team in New York, as much as they want to say they're not. They're still the second team
until they actually win, it's going to be like that. So,
exactly.
I think a lot of it probably has to do with him trying to live up to that money.
I think you're right.
Let's face it.
Well, City Field's not just a home run ballpark.
But he's not the best player in baseball. He's not a five-tool guy. He's a tremendous hitter. I wish the Yankees had re-signed him. But also hitting in front of Judge. I mean, there's nothing against Pete Alonso. He's had a great year, much better than I expected. But it's not Aaron Judge.
I mean, Soto even admitted it too. He's like, I missed hitting behind Judge. Like the pitches are different. It's more breaking balls.
Yeah, I mean, it shows how good he was. That all the pitches that he got to hit. And still took all the walks that he did.
That's also a good point as well.
Crazy.
To me, it's like he's trying to impress too much. Like he's not. He's like hitting the ball harder on the ground this year, and he's not elevating it properly. But Chris, I do understand the safe field point. But if you think about it, his opposite field shots are better at City Field. He uses opposite field a lot. He could be stealing a lot of Oppo home runs at City Field. He just hasn't done that yet. But think about all the doubles he had at Yankee Stadium last year. These would be bombs at City Field.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, guys. This was really fun. We'll get this up
soon. Had a blast. Thank you.
Well, I'm actually on the live stream now. Hit me with that retweet. It's out there. I tagged you guys. So
retweet this.
I'll chop it up more tomorrow. Like put it in the podcast center too. Anthony, thank you. Hopefully I get to meet you. Let me know if you've read the game or anything. I got to meet. Let's meet up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll shoot you a message. I'm definitely going Saturday coming up in June. I forget which.
I think I might miss you by a day. I'm going to the 6th game for the Yogi Berra bobblehead.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but I'll definitely let you know. For sure.
Chris, and you know where to find me at. So I'll see you soon, hopefully.
Thanks, guys. Go Knicks.
Yes, Knicks at 7, hopefully. It starts tonight. All right, everyone subscribe to Artisquina. Shout out to Anthony and Chris for joining me. Follow them on Twitter as well. It's in my tweet, Julian Guardi 1. Chris also has a podcast with my other buddy, Anthony, Uncensored Pinstripes. So everyone check that out as well. Sorry. My heart was in the right place. I'll have to switch that in the bio too. But more importantly, everyone check our